What's up, everybody? Early Stoppage MMA here. Today we're going to be doing a recap for the UFC 325 card that just wrapped up yesterday, taking place in Sydney, Australia. What did you think of the card?
Solid card. The UFC is off to a hot start in these first two events of 2026. This
Mm-hmm.
Paramount deal is legit. I like it.
Yeah, it's been really good so far. This card kicked ass. I really enjoyed it. I thought the quality of fights was solid. The skill on display in a lot of these fights was just great. Yeah, cannot say enough good things. I really thought this was a great card. This is the card of the year so far for me personally, out of two. But
I understand that. This is your deal. This is your thing.
I do love the Aussies. I really do. I have an appreciation for their spirit and their skill. So let's jump right into it. Starting off with, we're just gonna go over the main card. Starting off with Quillen Salkild defeating Jamie Malarkey via submission in the first round.
Yes.
Not Jamie Malarkey. Quillen Salkild, I think, is that guy. I think that there's
Yeah.
questions about the level of competition he's fought. Like, people will bring that up as a critique. But to be honest with you, he is dispatching every single person that he is fighting exactly how he should be for the level of competition. Like, he's making
I
it look
agree with that.
easy. Um, and Hack
I was about to
Parast
say the
is
same thing.
great. So,
Yeah, I was literally in my head thinking the same thing. He did exactly what a minus 1200 favorite should do.
hmm
And he brought up a great point saying, people forget that I'm really a grappler. Like that's his base.
yeah,
Because you saw the crazy head kick knockout, and that's exactly what he did. He went out, subbed him round one, exactly what you should do as
yep,
as the type of prospect that he is.
yep. He showcased, and he's been showcasing just how well-rounded he is. That's like a common theme with a lot of Australian fighters, like the best of them, is that they're so well-rounded in every aspect of mixed martial arts. I think Quillen Salkild, especially at 26 years old, is a great example of that next generation of fighters that are just dialed the fuck in and have grown up like watching the sport and training it like very efficiently in every aspect of the game. Um yeah, Quillen Salkild, I think, is he is going to do very well at lightweight. He's got the like great like lanky man grappling that some people really struggle with. He has that shit dialed in. He's got good power. He's accurate, and his kickboxing is nasty. So like, this dude is going to do well in this division. I really believe that.
What do you think's next for him?
Ooh, to be honest with you, I have never seen a fight more destined for Beneil Dariush in my life.
Ooh,
I think
that's a
Beneil
good one.
Dariush, they're going to feed him to this guy.
Yeah, I could totally see that happening.
Yeah. And the
Really good.
UFC does like Quillen Salkild. He's starting to get that spotlight. He's starting to get that Dana White kind of privilege thing going on. He's being thrown on main cards. Like the
Yeah,
stars are there, the signs are there. It's all aligning, you know?
I would agree. No, I think that's a great fight next, and that'll help. That gets him in the top 15, which I think he definitely belongs.
Agreed. Agreed. But poor Beneil Dariush, you
Oh
know?
yeah, that would been a few of those for him.
Yeah. I think it's possible they could give him someone like, ZM, but to be honest with you, I think that they'll probably have them both separately go up the rankings. I think that they're going to use these two and try to do the whole classic getting old guys out of the division, putting the new guys in. Um, these guys are the replacements, I believe.
Yeah, I see that. I definitely agree.
Yeah, great stuff. You want to take over the heavyweight
Dude,
fight? This is your jam.
yeah, the most technical battle on the card. No, 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 I'm kidding. Taito Iwasa, Palisade Teixeira. Dude, this was really only about a 3 minute fight. They both got tired after about 3 minutes,
Yeah.
and a lot of laying around, big bombs, and then all of a sudden clinching. Tuivasa had him hurt, and I think Teixeira was more tired. I will not lie. In
Yes.
this fight, I
Yes.
think that Tuivasa, if he would have just unclinched and just thrown 5 punches
Yes.
and just doesn't even have to land, just hit the gloves, it would have been all
Mhm.
right.
Mhm.
And I think Tai Tuivasa, we could have got the shoey that we've all been waiting so long for,
Yeah.
but he didn't. So Teixeira won. I
Mhm.
do think the grappling looked good while he was, doing it.
Hmm.
It looked fine. The takedown switches were fun. I really don't have high hopes for Teixeira though. I'm not gonna lie.
No,
After that, that was not a good look. It really was not. And I did not realize that
no.
his longest fight was 37 seconds
Yeah,
in the UFC, and obviously going to a decision. Nobody expected this to go to a decision.
yeah.
I think that that's fair to say that this was gonna. We thought this would be another 37-second fight, and
Hmm.
it was everything but that.
Yeah, I think that Teixeira gets smoked by anyone with takedown defense at
Yeah.
heavyweight. That the problem with that is that a lot of heavyweights just don't have it. So Teixeira, unfortunately, will probably do okay and wind up jumping the rankings a little bit before he encounters someone with skill. But what do you do? It wasn't super impressive. He just laid on Tai Tuivasa. I think we can establish at this point, very unfortunately, that Tai Tuivasa just can't grapple. He just can't do it. Um,
No.
and that sucks because I do think we saw, especially at the end of the fight there, that Tai Tuivasa looked better in that third round than he has in his last like 3 fights. So and he did after having a ton of time off. Maybe Tai Tuivasa can turn it around in the next fight, but it's just the second he encounters another fucking grappler, which for some reason the UFC just keep throwing at him, the same thing is going to happen again, and that sucks.
Yeah.
He had Teixeira hurt in that third round. He was also too tired to seal the deal. He had him hurt. He was hurting him with these big fucking swinging punches, but no urgency because I don't think he could be urgent. Unfortunately. I really wanted to do a shoey, man. If he would have
Dude.
won, I would have done a shoey.
Yeah, when you texted me that, I was immediately like, I said yes, I will do that,
Yeah.
and we didn't get it. Honestly, I think Teixeira's future is not too bright, which is crazy because he's this big 6'7", 6'8" heavyweight that has all the assets to be great.
Yeah.
But I I I truly believe I think that they'll give him Tybora next. I think that he's gonna get caught by the Tybora curse and lose.
Damn.
Is what I think is gonna happen because he's gonna jump up a little bit, and I think he'll get over that because there's very much tiers in the heavyweight division, and so like 10 through 15 is interchangeable with any heavyweight on the roster, and then
Hmm.
like 5 through 10 is like okay, you beat those guys, and then top 5 has been the same for the last like 3 years. I feel like
Yeah.
so. I really think that he's gonna struggle with that 5 through 10 range, and I think that Tybura is the guy who could probably take him out.
Yeah. I agree with that. It's interesting. I think I would agree. That's probably about right. That's about the cap for him, unfortunately. Yeah, this was really just. I feel like this fight was nothing more than just like everybody hoping Tai Tuivasa could get a win.
That and I saw a lot of people taking Tai Tuivasa, and we were all so close to getting the blissful shoey that we all needed.
It would have been beautiful, truly. Yeah, unfortunately, I think that Tai Tuivasa, like I don't know if they'll give him another fight. They might just cut him. However, if he goes to a sport where he does not have to worry about
Grapple,
grappling, like if we're talking like dirty boxing or something, oh
dude,
my god,
the
he'll be a
dirty
superstar.
boxing goat. He will be the dirty box. Jairzinho Rosenstruck is the dirty boxing champ heavyweight right now.
Oh, Tai Tuivasa would kill him.
Tai Tuivasa would murder him. And that's what we need. We need Tai Tuivasa in dirty
He
boxing.
could have like a Mike Perry in bare knuckle esque career.
Dude,
You know what I mean?
for real. Yeah, no, I think if that is what happens with Tai Tuivasa, that we should get that.
Yeah. Damn. What a bummer. Hopefully Tai Tuivasa can come back. I just want to see him win. That'd be great.
Just one more is all we
Just
need.
yes, just one more. Oh man, the glory days are behind us, but that's okay. You know, he did his best. Still love Tai Tuivasa. I'll always be a fan.
100%.
Yeah. Moving on to the featured fight of the night: Rafael Fiziev versus Mauricio Rufy. Man, this was a tactician's dream.
Dude.
It was
Good.
so technical.
I was not like other than the Quilla Salkild fight, I was not as confident as I was for anybody other than Fiziev. I thought Fiziev was going to win this fight. I thought he was going to dominate this fight, and
Mhm.
it just didn't happen. Hoofy's good, bro. This guy might be a guy to watch out for. I
Yeah.
know I'm saying that like about 3 fights too
Mhm.
late, but this is the fight that really set it in stone for me.
Yeah. Yeah. Rufy is very good. I think he's demonstrated that. I think I read there's a lot of background information about this fight that's really interesting. So like in the post fight press conference, uh Rufy left the Fighting Nerds, for people who don't know, the gym he was previously with, and went to Australia and trained with Volk at his camp for this entire fight. And in the post-fight press conference, Volk was like, "I can't believe that Rufy made it because he's dealing with a bunch of injuries and shit. It's miraculous that he even fought, let alone thugged it out and did that well,
Yeah.
which is crazy." So knowing the background of that, and then also us finding out that his brother had just died when it was like a week before the BSD fight, which might
Yeah.
explain the performance with BSD a little bit. I think part of it is that BSD is just genuinely good and a bad matchup for Rufy. I think grapplers, especially smother grapplers, probably will always be a bad matchup for Rufy, but damn. I mean, if you put him in there with another striker, I don't know, dude. I
Yeah,
don't know
I
who's going
think
to
I
beat
think
this guy.
yeah, I would agree.
I think this is a classic, like, if you are not well-rounded, you are not beating Rufy. Like, that's just what it is.
I think that, and I know this has been said a lot, and a lot of people might disagree with this, but I think the Conor McGregor comparisons are kind of accurate. I
Yes,
was
in
thinking
fight
about this because
style.
I was like, in fight style, yeah, and then I feel like in terms of just like, obviously he's not going to have the same kind of impact that Conor had, but I think that in comparison to career wise of like who beat him and who did he beat, I think that we're going to be a very similar boat with Rufy. I think that anybody who has some grappling and capable grappling, I think that it's going to be a really big struggle. But if anybody's willing to stand, I think that there's always that chance.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, it'll be really interesting to see going forward. I really, it was interesting too seeing Fazeev with his very Muay Thai heavy style. He kind of he still leaned into it, but his last two fights against both Gaethje and Bahamondes before this, I think it was Bahamondes.
Yeah.
He embraced more of the grappling. Like Fazeev was really throwing out some grappling in those fights for some reason. I thought maybe he was going to do that in this fight, but he didn't. And he was hanging in there on the feet with Rufy, and they were going back and forth, and it was really fun to watch. But man, Rufy's jab and his cross, just Fazeev did not know how to handle that, which I thought was really weird to see because it's like you're a Muay Thai dude. How can you not figure this one out? Um, but what do you do? He just couldn't
Yeah.
figure it out. Rufy made it happen. It's crazy to see Fazeev get KO'd too.
Yeah, I mean after the fights with Gaethje and all that's like for Rufy to be the guy.
He's damn good. I knew what the outcome of the. I'm not gonna lie. After I saw this fight, I knew that Rufy was training with Volk, and I was like, damn. I definitely think Volk's gonna win. Seeing that, I was like, he's been training with this fucking guy. Holy shit. So yeah, crazy fight, crazy impressive. Rufy, great stuff. I really think going forward, what do you think should be next for these guys?
I mean Rufy's definitely got to jump up. Yeah, at 55 it's so hard. We got so many guys now.
Yeah,
I think if Rufy comes up, they might with the power that he has and coming from the Fighting Nerds and now he's with Volk, he has the name. They could give him like someone in that close to top 5 range. I think like the loser of Charles Max, because you got to
hmm.
remember Fiziev was booked against Charles. That didn't work out.
Well,
So like this is not out of the range of
yeah,
possibility for Charles. I think Max would seem a little more unrealistic. But I
I
think if Charles loses, they could do Roofy Charles or
yeah,
yeah, Roofy Charles.
I don't think they'll bump him up that high. I think that they're gonna take another. I think they're gonna take, especially what they saw with BSD. It's also hard
Yeah,
because BSD is basically the next guy to break into the top of the rankings. He's pretty much
yeah,
established that. Roofy's probably not going to be that guy. Plus, Patty is up there, and they're going to try to get Patty back into a title contention as fast as possible
Sure.
with the easiest fight they can. So I think right now it makes sense that Rufy would just get a fight that is uh, career building, hype building, spectacle driven, and I think that's Michael Chandler. I think Michael Chandler's a money fight, so why would Rufy say no? It's a good fight for Michael Chandler to be in because the UFC will get what they want out of Michael Chandler out of that fight. And they're close enough in the rankings that I think it's like
It's possible.
it makes sense. Because Michael
I was
Chandler,
just
they
going
will
off the
always
logic,
give him
yeah.
opportunities to fight up, basically.
Yeah. My logic in the Charles pick was literally just that we had Fiziev booked against Charles, and now we got Rufy beating Fiziev. Let him step in.
Yeah.
That was just at the end of last year. Like that was only a couple months ago that all that was booked. So
Yeah. Yeah, it
I
is.
don't think that that's impossible. But yeah,
No.
I think the Michael Chandler fight's probably more likely.
Yeah.
I just don't really see them wanting to. I don't think they want him to fight down. To be honest with you. So
Normally, I would say they definitely don't want him to fight down, but I think that fighting Chandler is never fighting down, if that makes
That's
sense.
yeah.
Because
That's
you're
fair.
guaranteed, if you're fighting Chandler, you're guaranteed a co-main
True. That is true.
and a big payday. So that's the only reason I say that. But I could totally see the winner of the BMF fight too. That would make sense for Rufy.
The winner
So,
or the loser?
the loser.
Okay.
Yeah, that would be cool for Rufy. I think that for Fiziev, I've seen a lot of people say this. I felt this way quite a while ago, and I thought he was going to do it, but he didn't. Fiziev should move to featherweight. I don't know why he's still a lightweight. I mean, he's a big guy, but he's also he's small for lightweight.
Yeah.
It would, and at featherweight he would do so well. He would have good power for that size for the weight division. He would have great skill. There's not a ton of super strong grapplers in there anyways.
Yeah.
Not that that's like a huge issue for Fiziev, but like I think he would do really well at featherweight. And I don't really know why they don't send him or why he hasn't gone down.
Bro, give him if he moves on to featherweight, perfect timing, time period wise works out. Arnold Allen, bro. That would be a sick fight.
Honestly, Arnold Allen or Diego Lopez. That'd be a good ass fight.
That would be a good fight.
That's
yeah.
what I'm saying.
Either
Like,
one of those fights.
anything like that. You could throw Fiziev in with pretty much anybody in the top 7 at featherweight, and it'd be a great fight. So,
Yeah, I agree.
damn. Crazy, crazy stuff. Okay, moving on to the co-main. Dan Hooker versus BSD. This fight was crazy.
It was just exactly what we expected. I think we
Yes.
all knew that this would be crazy, and
Yes.
it definitely lived up to it. I saw a lot of people picking Dan Hooker in this fight.
Me too.
I never got on that bus.
Me
and
neither.
I'm glad I didn't.
Yeah.
I was actually thinking last night, and I want to throw this in the video. I guess
Yeah.
I think that other than the personality of Dan Hooker, this guy is so overrated. Like fight wise, he loses to every like top competition. His best win I could think of was the Gamrot win that pushed him back into the top 5. And even then, none of us hold Gamrot at that high of a status.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
I really think that if you talk about the most overhyped guys, I think Dan Hooker might be on that list for me.
Yeah, it's definitely a win that's aged somewhat poorly.
Yeah.
And it has been aging poorly. Dan Hooker, I mean, he's carried so much by the fact that, like, he just, when he gets into the right fight with someone like BSD, with somebody like Dustin Poirier, with some of these other guys, like, he will just have the nastiest fight and just be so tough and tough out. Just it's one of the most horrendous beatings you've ever seen put to a human being. And I think that's where the hype comes from. Plus, he was really good. I mean, around the time of the Poirier fight and having that close of a fight with Poirier, when he was that good, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That in his prime. Hooker was that guy. I just don't think he is anymore. I think that the damage is catching up to him.
Even then, his best win up to that point was like Gilbert Burns or Paul Felder.
Yeah, but you have to keep in mind, those guys were really good at the time.
They were, but I don't know. I'm kind of on the overhyped Dan Hooker train.
Right now, I do think that it's fair to say that he's
Like,
overhyped.
but dude, BSD, I was talking to you. I've had the craziest ride of. I loved this guy. Then he was fighting Poirier. I was like, I gotta hate him now. And like everyone was picking him to beat Poirier, which was made me even more mad.
Yeah.
And then obviously lose to Poirier, and I'm like, yeah, dude, fuck that guy. And then now it's so impossible to not like him. Like he is
Hmm.
what you want out of a guy like on his way up.
Yeah.
So I was really happy that he won against Dan Hooker. I won't lie.
Yeah.
Obviously Dan Hooker winning is cool, but I don't really want to see Dan Hooker fight up
No.
ever. Like he can't beat any of those guys.
No.
So I think that for the sport, this is the best outcome in this fight, and I'm really happy BSD won. And I think that there's a lot of fun fights up for him next. I'm curious where you're going with this. We talked a little bit before the video.
Hmm.
What do you have to say about this fight?
Uh, I mean, it was awesome. This is, it was an amazing fight. Was it a technical fight? No, no, not at all. Not in the
No Dan
slightest.
Hooker fight is.
Yeah. Well, in any BSD fight, the guy just his whole thing is just pressure, pressure, pressure. Like
Yeah.
he's very effective at just moving in, eating some shots if he have to. He actually did a better job in this fight moving his head. He doesn't normally do that, but he did in this one a few times, and it saved him. He just gets in on people, grabs a hold of them, and then rockets them to the ground and just beats the shit out of them. And it works really, really well. Like he is powerful. He's got good hands as far as like damage goes, and his grappling is nasty. He just smothers the shit out of people and then just beats the hell out of them on the ground. He's got that like. I mean, it's reminiscent of like obviously not skill wise, but Khabib pressure. You know what I mean?
Okay.
When Khabib
Yeah,
would just
I see
stick
that.
to people and just hold them into the ground and beat the fuck out of them.
There's no space. Yeah, when you're fighting
Yes.
BSD, that you have zero range. Like if you're a
Yes.
range fighter, you're done. I mean, he will not allow that.
No. And so, if he just gets in there, gets a hold of you and takes you down, like that's his whole thing. And that is, I mean, that's just designed to work against a long fighter like Dan Hooker. So, yeah, BSD, this is just what he does. It's what he will always do. I think the BSD, a lot of people still don't want to give him the credit. He's good. BSD is just good. He has a style that works. And eventually it won't, as we saw with like Dustin Poirier. But for the time
Yeah,
being, these guys don't know how to deal with this. And he's strong as shit and hard to handle. So BSD, you have to respect the guy. He has more than earned the respect at this point.
I would agree. Yeah, and
So
I think even the Poirier fight was kind of a good thing for him, in my opinion. To look at his career
yeah,
is like
absolutely.
I think that like the loss, and then obviously I think he lost to Moicano right after that, right? Like he lost two in a row, but
Yeah.
I think that those are important. And now we're really seeing, and he's gotten a lot better since those fights. He's always been fun, and he's always been the crazy aggressive, always
Hmm.
pressure kind of guy. But now we're actually starting to see like a little more technical fighting out of BSD, but still with that same amount of pressure
Yep.
that makes him so much better.
Yep. Completely agree. It's BSD is a force. He is a guy to be reckoned with. And it will be interesting to see how he does with the top five because I think that there will be varying success depending on who he's fighting.
Who do you think is next for him?
I'm gonna be honest. I think it makes sense. I think division wise it makes sense. I think based on how the division is going to shake out, it makes sense. I think that it is either a BMF shot because at this point, like you're running out of BMFs to give shots to, and if
Yeah.
BSD does not fit the criteria for the BMF belt, who the fuck does? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree.
This guy goes out there and he finishes pretty much everyone he fights with a nasty style, and has just wars. So he is a full-on candidate. I think he fights next for the BMF belt. He will fight the winner, or if they are really set on this guy, I could see them giving him Armin Sarukian, and those two finally have a fight because I mean Armin could sit out and wait forever and just hold on and hope he gets a title shot, but I don't know. The UFC really wants Armin to prove that he's gonna do it next. So if Ilya does fight Gaethje, which it sounds like he's going to, and isn't just gonna fight Armin instead, do BSD Armin if you have to.
I like that. I really I think the BMF belt makes total sense, and I think that if you're looking for a guy, if like just by visually, like how they fight, BSD is 100% in that category of BMF.
Yeah.
So I actually I like that. I did overlook that. I will not lie. I did overlook that. And I think he's earned the yeah. I like that a lot actually. I think that's probably what's next. They're probably gonna say, I think it's gonna be a little tough if Max wins because it's gonna be like, okay, maybe Max fights for the belt again. We don't, what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
But if not, if Charles wins, I 100% think that they do Charles BSD. I could
Yeah.
even see it honestly if Charles loses. If
Mm-hmm.
Charles loses and doesn't take a lot of damage, I think we could see Charles BSD this year. I think that that's a very good fight.
Yeah.
And I like that a lot though.
Yeah. We're lightweight's in a really weird spot right now where there's like you could just about make a argument for a title shot for pretty much anyone in the division.
Yeah. Other than Gaethje.
Other than Gaethje, but he is, going to be the next one. But you could potentially give it to Armin. You could give it to, especially if Max wins. Max has probably already earned a title shot at lightweight again, but he's just defending his belt. So if he defends it against Oliveira, he should be the next person to fight for the belt, even over Armin, honestly. It's a weird situation at lightweight, but yeah, I think that's a smart way to make it shake out. And then Dan Hooker, the obvious choice here is Paddy Pimblett. Paddy Pimblett, Dan Hooker is the fight to make. They have the beef. It makes sense for Paddy. It's a winnable fight for Paddy to get him back on track, and that's what everybody wants. Let's be honest. That is the fight to make.
I could see that. I definitely. I think it was more likely if Hooker won. I've been thinking in my mind that I think we're really going to get Armin versus Paddy. I really think that's what's going to happen.
You think so?
Yeah, I really do.
I don't know, man. I think the UFC
maybe
will
not
protect him.
You think Armin would beat Paddy?
It's possible, and I don't think the UFC wants to take that chance.
We'll get into this in our next podcast.
We will. We will.
Because I have some thoughts about that. But yeah, let's save it.
Okay. Should we move on to the main event?
Yes, dude.
All right. The main event of the evening. My fucking boy, Alexander Volkanovski, defends the belt at 37 years old against Diego Lopez in a rematch. This fucking guy, dude.
Dude, so good.
He's so good.
I want to start this conversation of this fight out of after the second fight has happened, the rematch happened, I am more convinced, and I have no issue saying it, that there was no need for a rematch. This was the exact same fight over again. Like, it was the exact same game plan from both the guys.
Yes.
Diego Lopez looked very, like, he was not throwing very much. He was very content just standing there.
Yeah.
And, kind of pressuring Volk, but then Volk would move laterally.
Yep.
It was the same fucking fight.
Not only was it the same fight, it was Volk did it better than the first one.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah, he just didn't get caught.
Yeah.
Like in the same way that he did get caught the one time that he got dropped,
yeah.
But even then it was never like an issue. In the first fight, it was like, okay, Lopez might be able to finish this. Lopez was never even close to a finish on Volk.
Yes.
So I think that I don't even think this was the exact same fight.
Yeah.
That was really my big takeaway from this, and it's incredible that Volk is still doing what he's doing at 37 years old against these guys who have the power. And I think the chin allegations are officially over. Volk is not really super chinny. He did get caught the once, but I don't think
right
that
back
we need
up
to worry.
and like back into it. Literally no. Like I think that Volk's chin has always been a little bit suspicious throughout his entire career, and like getting put out by Islam after like cutting it was like 40 pounds in like 10 days. Totally, that makes sense. Pretty much. I feel like most people, if they're that drained, could get put out by a head kick. That would not be surprising. And then Toporia's flatlining fucking everybody, let alone fresh off a devastating knockout and cutting back down to featherweight Volk. These are both like losses that have not aged poorly at all. So
no, I think that when it's all said and done, Topuria and Islam are both going to be top 5 all time. So those are complete. And I think Volk's in that conversation as well.
I agree. I think that you can, especially like the losses with the context and everything, because I do think the context is important. Like even as a fan, like I can fully admit, like, Volk losing to Ilya and Islam, totally fair, totally whatever. Especially with like a full camp and everything. Volkanovski, it's just like, I just want to take a moment to appreciate this guy's legacy at this point, because like I think that there's a lot of shit being thrown around and talk of like Diego Lopez being bad, and that is just fundamentally not the case. Diego Lopez is probably the most dangerous guy at featherweight.
Yeah.
And I don't think that that should be diminished at all because Volkanovski smoked him, because I think Diego Lopez would still smoke so many people in the division.
I think another point in this is I'm pretty sure Lopez broke both of his feet in this fight.
Yes, I did. I did see that.
So that could and probably did factor into the like him not throwing that much,
For sure.
which is obviously understandable.
Yeah.
Breaking both your feet, but still, I mean, I don't think that he was going to win the fight.
No.
And
I'm
very proud of Volk. I'm very proud of Volk.
Me too.
I don't know how. I don't know what it is. It's just something about. It's like every fight that Volk has, I feel like people are like, "Oh, dude, This could be the one. This could be the one that he loses. Like this guy's tough."
Yeah.
Every single fight he has, everyone always says that.
Yeah.
And
he's so good.
On top.
He's proven that he can still fucking whoop these guys. He's beat the most dangerous fighter for him in the division. Like the other guys he fights will have more skill than Diego Lopez, but the danger level is nowhere even comparable.
Yeah.
So like
the finishing instincts on Diego Lopez and just the ability to finish a fight, I don't think there's another guy at 145 like that.
No. I also think that one of the big underrated aspects of this too, I mean, we've seen Volk like, getting in there, the planning is a huge factor in how he is so successful. And we saw that. I mean, like he went out there and was ready for everything Diego Lopez was going to do, was making reads and adjusting accordingly. Like he even talked about, Diego Lopez in the last fight, Volk just fucking circled out to the right the entire time because it worked. And Diego Lopez could not cut him off. Diego Lopez figures out, I could throw high kicks to stop him from circling out to the right. And so Volk was like, well, fuck it, I'm just going to circle to the left. And like, it seems like a minor thing, but the fact that Volk can circle out to Diego Lopez's power side against a power puncher and still manage to just stay at the perfect range, land his shots at the perfect time. And when they get into those exchanges where they're just in the pocket swinging, coming out on top of those every time is crazy.
Yeah.
Like, it's just next level shit. His movement, his head work, the trajectory of his punches, it was all just fucking on point.
I think that like I told you, in terms of fight IQ of all time, I think that it's Volk and John Jones. I think you could probably throw GSP in that conversation, but I really think that Volk and John Jones are the two that whenever that their game plan is going to be set in stone, they talk like, and he does not stray off of that. No matter what happens, he always finds his way back into it. And granted, this fight I think isn't the best example because it's exactly what he did in the last fight.
Yeah.
But in the last fight, we said the same thing. It was like his game plan for Diego Lopez was perfect, and and that does not change.
Yeah. He even jumped a gilly, man. You love that shit,
dude. We got a lot of jumped gillies last night.
Yeah,
that's my favorite thing about Australians. It's like, oh, you're gonna take me down, Dan Hooker. That is one thing that I love Dan Hooker for. Every time this guy gets taken down, he will just jump the gilly and see what happens.
Yeah.
I don't know if he ever has finished one, but he does them. He does them.
It's, man, so many cool things to say about Volk. I mean, what's next is obvious. It should be the winner of Lerone versus Mobzar, which is functionally confirmed at this point. I really do think that, like, in a way, I wish Volk retired because this would have been the perfect ending in his hometown. Amazing performance, dominant performance, but also he looked so good that like he could fucking whoop somebody's ass again. Like it's such a weird one.
I think at that point too, like Lopez is the scariest fight just because the only way for Lopez to win is to finish him.
Yes.
And with Lerone, and Lerone could maybe catch him with something. We've seen it a couple times. His last fight, he caught somebody. And like, there's a few fights. I've watched a lot of Lerone fights. But with Mobzar, I don't think Mobzar is going to be able to finish him. And I think that it's also going to be... I think that Volk's game plan and we've seen it in every fight. He has a game plan for everybody, and he sticks to it. I think it's gonna be really tough for either Lerone or Mavzar to get a win, just because you pretty much have to finish him. That's
Yeah.
how we seen him lose to Ilya. We see him lose to Islam.
Yep.
You have to stop this guy, otherwise he will just IQ his way to a win.
Yeah, and just skill, straight up skill. Like he
Yeah.
is stronger
Yeah.
than these guys. He's a better striker than these guys. He's more accurate. He's faster. Like that is just what it is.
Yeah.
It is crazy how good this man is. Like I'm glaze overdrive here, but it is just the truth.
No, I don't even know if it's glazed at this point. Yeah,
No, it's just like that's.
I should give more credit. I think the IQ part is what's impressive to me, is just because he just outsmarts these guys, but it is also skill. I think that you could be as smart as you want. If you don't have skill, it's not going to work.
Yeah.
The skill to be able to implement the game plan that he has is the most impressive part.
Yes. I think that the real story of this fight too, compared to Volk's other fights, and as somebody who's a fan and has watched every fucking fight he's had in the UFC, with great detail, the story here was his defense. His defense was so good in this fight. I mean, he had it locked the fuck in, like perfect distance, like rolled with the punches perfect, shelled up perfect. He started using a cross guard, which is something he hasn't normally been using, and he used it perfect in this fight. He's like turning in and deflecting a lot of the shots that come at him, like just immaculately. That was the difference maker too, I think, in this fight, and why he didn't take the same amount of damage that he did in the last one, was because he just locked his defense down. And I will be very curious to see going forward how that works against guys who like don't even have as much power as Lopez to threaten with.
His scrambles too. That I was
Yes.
really impressed with the one scramble that they did have that was just beautiful by Volk.
Yeah.
Attacking submissions to get out, not to really use them.
Yep.
And we've seen Lopez get in these crazy scramble battles in the fight with Mavzar and other guys in the UFC.
Yeah.
And I was a little worried. I was like, oh, this might be where Lopez could get him. But no, just top tier. Whenever he broke the feet apart on the body triangle,
Yep.
when he was on his back, like just perfect grappling, just skill to the max.
Yeah. God. I mean, what more can you even say? Just incredible performance from Volk. We know what should be next for this guy. Diego Lopez, again, I don't want to hear disrespect on that guy, because he's also fucking great. I think he's going to smoke pretty much anybody he fights next. Yeah, just immaculate stuff, honestly.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah. I think
Great
that's
card.
What's up?
Great.
Oh, yeah,
great card overall. The Australian cards are always like name value wise are usually pretty top heavy.
Yeah.
But just in terms of fight, like they're so good.
Yeah. Yep. It is the truth. It's going to be fun to see how most of the implications of this shit play out too throughout the rest of the year.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, it's so good. So
well, they just set up lightweight for the rest of the year with just this one card.
They did. They did. Oh man. All right. Well, thanks for tuning in, everybody. We have been Early Stoppage MMA. We look forward to speaking with you about the next card. We've got some plans in the works to maybe try to revitalize the channel a little bit. We're going to start up with some podcasts, maybe engage in some webcam shenanigans. We will see. But thanks for tuning in, everybody. Hope you have a wonderful week. Hope you enjoyed the fights, and we hope you enjoy the fights next weekend. All right. Peace.